Welcome, Wave Shapers. Welcome to the Wave Shapers podcast. We're going to go ahead and we're going to jump right into this thing, man. We're just going to give a few seconds to anyone that's about to join right now. But our intention is always to be punctual, to start right on time. So if you're joining right now and you are not subscribed to the Wave Shapers YouTube channel, first of all, I don't even know how you're seeing this if you're not even subscribed, but definitely subscribe. And if these videos and these conversations have been of help to you and have been a blessing to you, then I ask you to please share these videos. Send the link right now, send the link to this live, whether you're watching it live or you're watching it after. Send the last 5 people in your phone, because we have goals here. We have a community that we are aiming to build and that we are building one day at a time, one step at a time. Welcome to the few people that just joined. And vamos a comenzar de una. Yo sé que siempre hay en mi Instagram, siempre hay un tema, y es que la gente que me sigue, que solamente habla español, siempre me dice, ¿por qué no hablas español? And then if I were to speak Spanish, then all the people that are with me that only speak English wouldn't understand. So it is what it is. Sometimes I'll throw in some Spanish, but in general, this YouTube tonight's gonna be in English. And we're gonna be pretty quick tonight, but I just wanted to share something that's on my heart right now. And for whoever needs to hear this, I just want to encourage you to not give up. I just want to encourage you to not give up. Don't give up. The process of being who you're meant to be is a marathon, and it's not a sprint. And it's so easy to get tilted. You know what tilted is? A good friend of mine was a professional gamer. He's no longer a professional gamer, but he was a professional gamer. He explained to me this concept of what it is to get tilted. And basically, when you're playing these video games at a competitive level, let's say that it's some kind of war game or it's some kind of game where people are attacking each other, you may receive an attack that you weren't expecting, or an attack that you're trying to do to win the game didn't turn out the way that you wanted it to turn out. And so there's an immediate temptation to get frustrated. But the thing is, if you get frustrated and you allow that frustration to influence your game and the way that you're playing, that's called being tilted. You'll start rapidly making bad decisions because you're tilted, because you're frustrated with what your eyes are seeing, with what you're experiencing. When anybody that plays a sport or plays games, or if we're talking about something like boxing, or if we're talking about basically any type of goal that you're trying to achieve, it's so important to stick to the plan. It's so important to stick through the plan. Stick with your game, man. If you thought about your game plan, if you're headed somewhere in your life, if you set goals for this year, if you sat down and you made these decisions, you know, in your right mind, I'm going to cut out these friends, I'm going to take on this habit, I'm going to do these things to better myself, then stick to your game plan. Don't get so easily thrown off your game plan when things are not going your way. Don't give up. Don't give up. To whoever needs to hear this message right now, I want to encourage you to stick to your game plan and to not give up. You may not be seeing the results that you want to see right now in your life, but you got to stick with the plan, because consistency and persistence is what takes people to accomplishing their goals. I'll say that again. Consistency and persistence is what takes people to accomplishing their goals. The word for my life that I felt at some point at the end of last year was that word consistency. And I found a definition of consistency. It's actually written right up there on my vision board. And that definition of consistency says, doing what you know you should do, but don't want to, until it becomes a habit. Achieving your goal becomes only a matter of time when you are consistent. Achieving your goal becomes only a matter of time when you are consistent. And so I want to challenge you today. Be consistent. Don't give up. There is hope. It's darkest right before the dawn, and it really is. And you know what? When you're on the verge of breakthrough in your life, when you're on the verge of seeing something new, that's when, call it the devil, call it the darkness, call it evil, call it your flesh, call it whatever you want. That's when it tries to shake you up the most. Right when you're on the verge of breakthrough, right when you're on the verge of seeing something break that you've been waiting for years and years in your life. And right before that, there's always a temptation to give up. There's always circumstances that will want to discourage you. But we have to develop some kind of resilience. We have to develop some kind of Terminator attitude. I heard somebody once say a Terminator anointing, which is like, bro, like getting hit and I keep going. I get discouraged, but I keep going. I don't feel like it, but I keep going. Things are hitting me left and right, but I keep going. And I'm not talking about keep going like ignoring the fact that you need to process some things. I'm not talking about keep going like bury yourself in your work as an addiction and don't consider your well-being and your mental health. No, I'm talking about keep going in the sense of these things that you've decided to do that you know are good for you. Don't just give up on them because you're not seeing results. These things that you've decided to do that you know are for your greater good, are for your ultimate highest self. Don't give up on doing those things just because the results that you want to see are delaying. Stick with it. Stick with the plan. Don't give up. Live to die another day. And the word says, I'm actually going to look up the verse. Look up the verse. I didn't have it written here, but Galatians 6:9 says, "And let us not grow weary while doing good, for in due season we shall reap if we do not lose heart." I'm going to read that again. Galatians chapter 6, verses 9 and 10. Galatians chapter 6, verse 9. It says, "And let us not be weary while doing good, for in due season we shall reap if we do not lose heart." That's a promise. There is a promise that you will reap harvest if you don't lose heart and give up. But that promise of reaping the harvest is a conditional promise. It's not an unconditional promise. You see, the creator of the universe loves you unconditionally, and he accepts you unconditionally. But his promises are not unconditional. His promises have conditions to them. And we have a responsibility, we have a role to play, we have a part to play in our receiving of the promises and the blessings of our Creator. And right here in Galatians 6:9, it says that our responsibility and our job and our role is to not lose heart. So don't lose heart. So when it says there, let's not be weary, that word weary comes from the Greek word that means to be spiritless or to be exhausted. So when it says don't grow weary, it's saying don't grow too tired. Don't grow so tired that you give up doing good. Don't grow so tired that you are spiritless, that your vigor, that your energy, and that your expectation in life drops away and fades away. So this is encouragement to you, to tell you, take heart, gain spirit again, take up, and keep freaking going. You don't see the results yet, keep going, because we're not moved by what we see. And we're not moved by what we feel. We're moved by what we know, by what we have a conviction of. And what we know becomes our principles. And we base what we know on our principles, and our principles are based on what we know. And the beautiful thing about principles is that if they are based on truth, then they are laws. They become laws. So you see, the act of planting a seed and watering it and putting it in a place where it can receive sun, and you put it in good soil and the proper nutrients, that's not an emotional consideration. It doesn't matter how you feel every day when you're watering those seeds. It doesn't matter how you feel every day when you're doing that work. It is a law that if you properly plant and properly nurture and take care of the seeds, that there will be growth and there will be results. So whatever you're doing right now, whatever you're pushing yourself to do and it hurts, whatever you're doing and it seems like nobody's noticing, whatever you're doing and you wish that you would have blown up already, or you wish that you would have been recognized, or you wish that you would have been applauded for doing what you're doing, and you're not getting the recognition or the appreciation that you feel like you deserve, just keep watering those seeds. Just keep putting that axe to that root, because this is based on a principle and this is based on a law. And the law is that you will reap in due season. Do not lose heart. And then the other word that I wanted to explore from that is we shall reap. We shall reap. When we talk about we are reaped, we're talking about the harvest. When we talk about the harvest, we're talking about fulfillment. When we talk about fulfillment, we're talking about us getting closer to our destinies. So if we don't grow weary in good doing, we will be closer to our destiny. We will reap a harvest, and it will be so freaking worth it. I'm actually going to wrap up in a few minutes here, but I wanted to say one other thing, and it's that whenever you're going through a trial and it seems like the trial just keeps going on, and you feel like you're running out of strength, or you're getting frustrated, you no longer want to be in this trial, do not grow weary in your good doing, because you never know when your breakthrough is going to happen. And you don't know right at that moment when you most feel like quitting if your breakthrough is just one day away, if your breakthrough is just right around the corner. And if you've come this far and you've sacrificed this much and you've cried this many tears and you've hurt this much, then you might as well see it through and do it till the wheels come off. Because it is a law and it is a principle that if you do not grow weary in good doing, that you will see the harvest for which you are working so hard. So be encouraged. You never know. In the divine calendar, the book of Ecclesiastes chapter 3 says that there is time for everything under the sun. There is a time to live and there is a time to die. There is a time to plant and there is a time for harvest. There is a time to be in joy and there is a time to cry. And you never know that if your divine moment on the divine calendar for the breakthrough that you've been waiting is just around the corner. You never know if this trial that you've been enduring for 6 months and you want to give up. You've you've been enduring it for 6 months and 15 days, you never know if that breakthrough that you're waiting for is going to happen on the 6th month and on the 17th day, and you're 48 hours away from something that you've been waiting for 5, 10, 12, 13 years, or this last season of your life. So don't give up. Somebody wrote in the comments, I feel like giving up for one reason: my family is falling apart. And the one little encouragement that I'll give to you who feels like your family is falling apart is give your family over to God. You can't control what your family does. You can't change anybody in your family. You can't change anybody's mind. You can't control your mom. You can't control your dad. You can't make them be better people. You can't make them cooperate. So don't stress yourself about the things that you cannot control. The only things that you should be concerned about should be the things that you have control of. So you that feels like your family's falling apart, you be the person that you want to be in your family. You be that consistent voice of reason. You be that person that doesn't give up faith. You be that person that continues to believe. And even if it seems like it falls all the way apart, you continue to believe and you continue to endure, and you don't get tired in good doing, because the Creator that we serve is an expert in putting broken families back together. So sometimes you need to let it go. You just need to let it go. Leave it in the hands of the Creator. Don't stress yourself about things that you cannot control. Yes, somebody just said if your family's falling apart, it's not your fault. Be an example for them. And I agree with that 100%. It's not your fault. We can't take the responsibility of the things that we didn't cause and that we didn't do. You're responsible for yourself. Now, are you responsible to be the best version of yourself? Yes. Are you responsible if you are coping and you're living a life you're not proud of, to make adjustments and to make changes so that your life can progressively get better? Yes. Are you responsible to love them and to care for them unconditionally, even though it's hard to do it? Yes. But beyond that, you cannot change anybody but yourself. Not even your husband. Not even your wife, not your kids, not your parents, not your best friends, or someone you're in a relationship with. You can't change or control anyone else. You will only be held responsible for what you do with yourself. And the most important thing to do with yourself is to not give up. Keep going, keep going, keep going. And in the process of keep on keeping on, it is your responsibility to gain knowledge and to gain wisdom. Because see, there are things that happen outside of our control, but we need to ask the Spirit of holiness to reveal to us what are the things in our life that are outside of our control, and what are the things in our life that are inside of our control. Namely, the things that we were just talking about, things that have to do particularly with us and the way that we react to the world around us. But it is also a thing that we can go too far on the other side, where we adopt an attitude of indifference and we adopt an attitude of thinking that everything in our life is going to solve itself. No. We need to gain wisdom and gain knowledge. Be able to form a system and to be able to form a plan. And when we have the system and when we have the plan, then we be consistent to that system or that plan. And we don't deviate from that system, that plan, unless we find out better knowledge, more accurate truth that causes us to adjust our overall game plan. So to sum it all up before I jump off of here, I'll sum it up with saying this. Take an inventory of your life. And the things that you are not proud of and the things that you want to change for the better, you need to ask yourself, How do I influence those things? What control do I have over those things? And you need to split the things you have no control over versus the things that you do have control over. And the things that you don't have any control over, you need to let them go, and you need to not be anxious, and you need to not worry about those things. You need to know that you can't control anybody else, but the things that you do control, the things that you do influence, how your physical body is, what you put into your body, what are your habits, who are the friends that you're spending time with, how are you spending your time? That's like the biggest thing that you control. How are you spending your time? And when you realize that there are things that you need to change in your life, that you need to spend your time with more wisdom, that you need to be smarter and more diligent with the opportunities that you've been given, then do not give up and do not grow weary. Keep attacking it. Keep going at it one day at a time. You're not where you want to be, but you're not where you used to be. Don't grow weary in good doing. Keep your head up. Whenever you watch this message, be now or be it 5, 10, 20, 30 years from now, if this video is still around, I want to encourage you, and I want to tell you, for whoever specifically needed to hear this, you've been thinking about deviating from the plan, but you know you heard that plan right. And so I want to tell you, don't doubt in the dark what you heard in the light. Keep on going with the plan that you felt was inspired by the Holy Spirit, and keep at it, because in due time you will reap that harvest. Don't deviate. Stick with the plan. Keep going. And eventually, in the perfect time, all things will align and you will reap that harvest. I speak a blessing to all you guys. We got some people writing some comments. Please subscribe to this channel with somebody, and let's keep the message of light, of revelation, of positivity going. I love you guys. Bless you guys. Wave Shapers for life.